Okay, so we are, first of all, the shir is really being recorded for all the people that are not here, but Ellie and I are learning with Charusa, so it's great. So we are picking up on the bottom of Tes Zayin Amud Aleph. We are at the second last line. The Gemara says, so first of all, the Gemara is going to go on a tangent now. It's going to speak a little bit about Yosef and the brothers. So the Gemara says, that Yosef, when the sons were leaving him from Mitzrayim, so he gave each one of them, he gave them clothing, and to Binyamin he gave 5 changes of clothing. So the Gemara asks, turning to Tes Zayin Amud Abo, are you going to say that the thing that Yosef got punished? Why? Because, well, the Gemara is going to say why. So he's going to make the same mistake. The Amar Rav bar Mechasya, Amar Rav Chama bar Guria, Amar Rav. B'shvil Mishkal Shnei Sulaim Melas Shehosef Yaakov Yosef Mishar Echav is Gagal Hadav Rabbi Yoda Avosenu Mitzrayim. Because Yaakov gave Yosef 2 pieces of clothing that were only worth a couple of bucks. Because of that, the Bnei Yisrael were put into Galus. Because if not, then even though the Galus Mitzrayim was already nigzer from the time of Avram Avinu with Bris Ben Absarim, like the Marsha says, that maybe it would have been that the Galus, the Shibud Mitzrayim wouldn't have been so bad. So Yaakov Avinu, so the brothers got jealous because of Yaakov. So why would Yosef give Binyamin additional clothing if he sees what happened when the brothers got jealous of him? So I'm Rabbi Binyamin Bar Yefis, Remez Ramazlo, that really he wasn't doing it to make, he wasn't really giving anything, he was just hinting with it. That he was going to have eventually a descendant from Binyamin who was going to go out from the king with 5 pieces of clothing. Who was that? So those are 5 pieces of clothing. So it was just a remez that he was doing it. And again, that doesn't really answer the question of like the brothers were going to know that he was really just being meramis, that he's going to get 5 pieces of clothing. But that's what the Gemara answers. Okay, so continuing the story now with Yaakov, with Yosef and Binyamin, but Yipol al Tzavre Binyamin Achiv, and he fell on the necks of Binyamin his brother. So Gemara asks, how many necks did he have? It should have said he fell on his neck. Why did it say plural? So Amar Rabbi Lazar, Bachal Shnei Mikdashim, that Yosef was crying over the 2 Bati Mikdashim that were Shasidin Lios Bechagol Shal Binyamin Asidin Lecharav, that they were going to be in Binyamin's portion, and they were eventually going to be destroyed. And Binyamin Bachal Tzavarav, and Binyamin cried on his neck. What is that? Bachal Mishkan Shiloh, Shasid Lios Bechagol Shal Yosef Asid Lecharav. He was crying over the Mishkan of Shiloh, which was going to be in Yosef's chelik, and that was going to be eventually destroyed also. So that's what that meant. So again, so right now what happened is that Yosef is trying to convince his brothers that everything's good between them and that there's no animosity that he has for them. So he said, Amar Rabbi Lazar, Amar Lahem, Yosef said to the brothers, that just like I don't have anything against Binyamin, because he wasn't involved at all with the mechira that took place. I don't have anything in my heart against you either. And it says, Kipi hamadar b'aleichem. What does that mean? It's a play on words. Kipi is kifi kain libi. That just like I'm saying, when I'm saying to you that I don't have any tightness against you, I also, in my heart, I also feel the same way. It's not like I'm echa b'pev echa b'leiv. I really have no hard feelings at all about what happened here. So the Gemara continues, and to and to the brother and to his father he sent 10 donkeys that were filled with the best of Mitzrayim. So what does that mean? What is that? That he sent them old wine, which is it's good for they like it because it keeps them warm. They like drinking the wine and it tastes good when it's aged. So he sent fine wine down to Yaakov. Then it says that the brothers went and they fell before him. That when the fox is like when things are shining on him, so you should bow down to him. So you should bow down to him. So Gemara asked, to Allah, he was a fox? Why are you saying that Yosef was, that when the fox is having his day, then the brothers bow down to him? Yosef was an equal of the brothers. He wasn't like inferior to them. So why are you saying that when the fox is having his hour, that's what the mashal is, that the brothers were bowing down to Yosef, even though like he was beneath them, but they bowed down to him? So our answer is, it's not talking about the brothers, it's talking about a different situation. What was that? It says in the pasuk, that when Yosef came to visit Yaakov, so it says that Yaakov bowed down to the head, to the Rosh Hamita, which is where Yosef was. So Amar Rabbi Yambar Yafis, Amar Rabbi Lazar, to Allah be'idnei sigilei, that when the fox is when things are going well, then you bow down to him, because Yosef next to Yaakov was considered to be inferior. So again, Yaakov did because of covet of the Malchus, which again we see, like we said the other day, that that the Shekhinah, Esther thought maybe the Shekhinah left Esther because she called Achashverosh a dog. So you see that there's this Indian of having respect for the Malchus. But so it was saying that Yaakov, even though he was Yaakov Avinu, but for Yosef, when things were going well for Yosef, and it says that so he bowed down to him. When it says that he spoke to their hearts, some Rabbi Nabba, Rabbi Yafis, some Rabbi Lazar, that he said to them things that, like he said things, he was reassuring them that everything was fine. And he said to them, just like you'd have that if 10 lights aren't able to extinguish one light, meaning the 10 of you, when you tried to sell me, your idea was that you wanted me out of the picture, you wanted me dead. But the 10 of you were not able to extinguish my light, so how can one light extinguish 10 lights? You don't have to worry that I'm going to try to do something to you. It's not possible for me to extinguish your light, just like if the 10 of you couldn't extinguish mine, one of my light can't extinguish yours, because we're the Bnei Yisrael and there's something to us. So getting back to the Megillah now, it says, what does that mean? Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Ayra zu Torah, that when it says light, it's referring to Torah. So you see that Torah is referred to light. Simcha is Yom Tif, that's referring to Yom Tif. That you're going to be happy. Sason zu Milah, that's referring to Bris Milah. And again, the Mefarshim say that it could be that Haman was trying to take away all these things from the Jews. Sason zu Milah, v'chein hu omer, Sas anochi al Rasacha, and Vikar elu tefillin, v'chein hu omer, Roa kol ha'meretz kishem so again, the words that are associated, so you see that that it's referring to tefillin. V'tanya Rabbi Lazar, Agad Elamer Elu Tefillin Shel Rosh. It's referring to the tefillin of Rosh. That what is it that they're going to be looking at? They're going to be looking at the tefillin Shel Rosh. So the Megillah continues. Veish Parshan Dasta Aseres Bnei Haman. So we read the 10 names of Haman, and then we say an Aseres Bnei Haman. Amar Avada Demin Yafo Aseres Bnei Haman ve'Aseres. When you say the names of the 10 sons of Haman, and then you say Aseres Bnei Haman, you say that Aseres after you say them. Tzarach Lemirin Hu B'Neshimachas. You have to say it in one breath. Why? My timer. Because Kulu Bahari Hadari Nafku Nishmaisu. Because they all died at the exact same moment. So there, if you would read it one and then stop with Aseres, you'd make it sound like they came one after the other, but they all died at the same time. So therefore, you should read it. You should say Aseres also at the same time. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Vav Devaisasa, Tzarach Lemichtase B'Zekifa. You have to say it a little bit longer. Why? Kemodaria Deliros, like the pole that we use when a person's in a boat. So they'd have this long pole that they would use to kind of like push themselves off from the rocks if they were getting too close to the shore. So the same thing. You should say it longer when you're saying Vaisasa. My timer, Kul B'Chadzik. Because Kula B'Chazakifa as Tekifa, because they all were hung on one pole, so it's showing that it was a longer pole, so you're also supposed to say Vav, you're supposed to say it longer. Amra Chanina Bar Papa Darsh Avshila Ish Kfar Tarmata. Kala Shiros Kula Nichtavos Ariach Agabi Levena Agabi Riach. That when you have the Shira, and again this is for B'Shalach, my Bar Mitzvah parsha, if you ever looked inside the Torah then, so Az Yashir, it has it like it goes like this. You have like words. It'll say like Az Yashir Moshe, and then we'll have something on top, and then there's going to be a space underneath the middle, right? And then it keeps doing, and then the next line it does the opposite way. So you always have something between one and the other, so that like if something was in the middle, it would fall down, it would be caught because there's always going to be something that's breaking it up. So the Gemara is going to explain my timer. I'm sorry. Except for the Shira referring to the Aseres B'nei Haman when they were hung, and also when it talks about the Malchei Canaan when they were killed, it also has it because it has them listed. I mean, the easiest way is just look in Art Scroll. They have here. See, they have it listed that this is the way that we show for the Aseres B'nei Haman and Canaan, and for the Shira it has it like this. So you have the words on top. So there's always there's a space in between, but there's always going to be something that's going to be catching it. So the Gemara says, why do we do that? My timer, and those of you that are listening, online, I'm sorry that you can't see the visual that I just did. It was a great visual. Anyway, so my timer, because you're never going to be able to recover from when they fell. So we wanted that if something was happening, they start falling, that they're going to continue to fall. They're not going to be able to be saved. But Yomer HaMelech Esther, and the king said to Esther, Yomer HaMelech Esther Malka, Shushan Abir Hagar Yehudim, in the city of Shushan, they killed the Jews killed, and he starts naming all the people, and then the pasuk changes, and it says to him, so he started saying about what was going on, how many people they killed, and then he says, what else do you want? What can I do for you? So So like he changed his mind about what he was doing, because first he started off like very angrily almost. He was saying like, you're killing too many people. How many people are you planning on killing? And then like mid-sentence he just changes his mind. He says, what else do you want? What can I do for you? So Gemara says, that a malach came and hit Achashverosh in the mouth when he started complaining to Esther about how many people were being killed. He hit him in the mouth to say to him, hey, it's okay. And then Achashverosh said, okay, well, Esther, what else can I do for you? So what does that mean? Amar, it says Amar, let's just say that she said, she was telling the Achashverosh what to do. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Amar lo ye'emer b'peh ma shekazav b'sefer. She was saying to him that you should sit, that what's being said, that's what should be written down into Megillah Esther. Divrei Shalom be'emes, what does that mean? Amar Rav Tanchum v'Amri lo Amar Rav Asi, lamet shetzricha sirtut kamita shel Torah, that the emes is saying that just like the Torah is emes, so there's a teaching that the Megillah has to be written on parchment and with they make etches in the parchment, just like they do with the Sefer Torah. So it's saying that the Megillah has to be done the same way. Well, Maimer Esther Chaim, and the words of Esther were Mekoyim. So the Gemara asks, Maimer Esther in Divrei Tzamos Lo, only the words, meaning we wrote down the story of what happened, but the fasts are not going to be something that's going to be instituted. So I'm Rabbi Yochanan, Divrei Tzamos Umaimer Esther, Kiyim Divrei Purim Eila. No, you're supposed to read them together to say that yes, both the fast that led to the nace of the miracle of Purim and the words of Esther that talk about the story of Purim, those were both being instituted to be done. Because Mordechai was the second in line to Achashverosh, and he was respected by the Jews, and he was loved. He was popular with most of the people. So Mordechai says the it was only with most of the people, not all of them. That some members of the Sanhedrin left him when Mordechai started getting involved with the governmental stuff. So the members of Sanhedrin thought that wasn't the right thing to do. So they kind of separated from him, saying, "Look, Mordechai, you want to become someone involved with politics? That's fine, but that's not for us." And they kind of moved away from him. So he wasn't. I'm sure that they appreciated what the Nasik took place, but they moved away from him when he started getting involved with politics. Amar Rabbi Yosef, Gadol Talmud Torah Yoser. That you see that Torah learning is greater than saving someone's life. The Meikara Chashav Leila Mordechai Basar Dalid, it was soft to Bachas Chamisha. Because when in the beginning, when it's talking about that Mordechai was coming back when he's going out in the Galus, it names him after 4 Talmidei Chachamim, which the Gemara is going to say what it is. And then when the story of Purim takes place, it names after 5. Where do we see that? That came with Zerubbabel. It was Yeshua, Nehemiah, Shreya, Re'ela, and Mordechai. So you see that he was 4th. And then Mordechai Bilshan, and then Ulubisov Ksiv, Habayim Zerubbabel, Yeshua, Nehemiah, Azariah, Ramaya, Nachmani, and then Mordechai Bilshan. So you see he dropped down one. So even though he had saved Klal Yisrael, but the fact that he wasn't involved with Torah learning as much anymore, so that dropped him down a little bit in the rankings, if you will. Amarav Vitema. Rav Shmuel Bar Martza, Gadol Talmud Torah Yosmi Ben Beis Hamikdash, that Torah learning is greater than building the Beis Hamikdash. Shekol Man Shebaruch Ben Neriah Kayam Lo Inicho Ezra Va'ala. That the whole time that Baruch Ben Neriah was alive, who was Ezra's Rebbe, he didn't leave Galus to come to Eretz Yisrael to rebuild the Beis Hamikdash. He waited until after he died, and that's only when he came down to Eretz Yisrael to rebuild the Beis Hamikdash. So you see that Torah learning was more important than building the Beis Hamikdash. Okay, with that we will stop, and we will pick up again in Mirz Hashem on Monday.